Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Hands-on SAP Dev with QMacro. Me, this time, DJ. So another Friday, Friday 2nd of October, my goodness me, and it was a cold, windy morning this morning. I snuck out for a quick run, short run, before preparing for this and starting. And I'm glad I did. I'm always glad I go for a run. I feel better. So welcome everybody. Glad to have you here. This is part 7 of a series that we're doing called Dive into Messaging on SAP Cloud Platform, Enterprise Messaging specifically. Welcome if you've not been here before. Welcome if you've been here before. Welcome everybody, all developers welcome. Leo, good morning Leo, nice to see you. I've not seen you for a while. Great to have you on board. Shahid, welcome again. And Jodel, welcome. I really enjoyed your session with Tom. By the way, Jodel, how did that go? How did that feel? I thought it was really good. Tapio, good morning over there. And yeah, great to have you. I've got my coffee, I've got my biscuits, and I thought I'd treat myself to some giant chocolate buttons and their sort of chocolate orange flavour, which is a bit special. So I'm going to enjoy those on the stream. Samuele, good morning. Good morning, Samuele. I wonder what you're going to spot today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to chatting with you all. So thank you for joining. So I'm looking down here. I completely forgot. These were in my cupboard, for my drawer for a while under my desk. But I've still got from the wonderful Ronnie Sletta. Antonio, good morning. Good morning to Antonio. I've still got from the wonderful Ronnie who did these hands-on SAP Dev stickers with hashtag. So I've got a little box of things here. I've still got a few recap stickers, and what else have I got? I've still got a few SAP Cloud Application. This is like a see-through one, so you can see it only when you stick it down. SAP Cloud Application Programming Model laptop stickers. So if you haven't got any of these already, especially these hands-on SAP, I've got some more. You know, this is another lump in the packet here as well, so there's a few more. So if you've got any desire to have some of these, I'll post them. Hey Volker, good morning Parallel Call, can't miss this cap goodness. Thank you Volker, nice to see you. Yeah, send me the best thing to do is send me a direct message on Twitter with your address, your sort of postal address. I'll put them in the post. Make sure if you do send me an address that you put like pipes or something in between the lines, the new lines, because sometimes the addresses are so weird and wonderful, I never know where to split the lines on the envelope. So make sure I know which line goes where, and I'll send some stickers. So Jodel, it's really good. Got a couple of proposals for open source collaboration work. Brilliant. Right after the interview, fantastic. So that's really good. Okay, so let's start. Let me just switch over to the main screen here. I think I'll put myself on the bottom today. Why not? Because I can then look up. Which way am I going? I can sort of look up. There's a brilliant YouTuber who sort of has a green screen and he sort of points to his screen like virtually, like the people doing the weather. It's quite good. Yes, exactly. Put a \n, Samuel. That would be perfect. Yes. Have I burnt my coffee today? Maybe the water was too hot. Anyway, so let's get started with some bits and pieces just to sort of, warm ourselves up. We're currently in Devtoberfest, of course. Devtoberfest, brilliant logo, and of course you will have seen. Talking of Jodel, you will have seen, I'm sure, and if you haven't, then go to the link here. This is week 6, current week. As you can see, this is the topics page. Let me give you the URL to the home page of Devtoberfest, which is there. And if you go to the topics page, which you can link, there's the link as well, but have it anyway. You'll see that it's organized by week. This is week multiple topics, week 6. This is the current week, of course. Week 7, I'll talk about that in a minute. We had loads of stuff. We had Cloud APIs, we had VS Code extensions with Jodel, and we had Google Chrome extensions as well. So there's the link. there's a general overview of what happened. And you can also get to more information on the individual topic pages. Okay, so if I'm going to link to the topic page for the VS Code extensions, and you'll see this stuff here. There's a recording with Jodel. So all these videos are available, of course, after the fact. So that's the VS Code stuff. And also the Cloud APIs, which I was very lucky to be able to do with you all. If we look at the topic page for Cloud APIs, you can see all the recordings. Just click on these to get the recordings. So we did 6 exercises. A couple of large, well, a large one yesterday, which was really deep dive. But I'm glad Antonio's on the channel, because I would like to introduce you all to Antonio Maradiaga, who is a friend and colleague of mine. Say hi, Antonio. Well, you said hi anyway. And the repo that we've got for the Cloud APIs exercises, if we go, for example, to exercise 1, or in fact, let's go straight to the repo. The repo is a virtual event repo, which is here. This is where all the exercises are, and coming soon, when I get round to reviewing and sorting out the pull request that Antonio has made, coming soon, there will be another couple of exercises. Bonus, just for you. So you heard it here first. These are exercises that Antonio has added here. There's exercise 7, talking about SAP Ariba. So that's amazing. So well done, Antonio. You can go straight to the branch if you want right now. So there's the, let me put the main URL there. So if you're interested in even more API goodness, then and you want a sneak peek before we've merged it into the main branch, then have at it, because we're all friends here on SAP Hands on SAP Dev, aren't we? So that's that. Devtoberfest, there we go. Just a quick update. Here is our collected shared repo for our Hands on SAP Dev dive into messaging, as we know. So there is the URL. Let me put that there as well. You all know this already. If you haven't already, give it a star. Give it a star if you fancy it, if you're using it. What I've done is this morning just add this listening, which we'll be using. It's something I wrote in preparation for something else, but the listener is a little bit. It won't come as a surprise to what it is. It just uses all the cool stuff that we've been building over the last few episodes in this series. Okay, and I explain what that is when we come to it. Also, finally, this is sort of a bit, meta news. We started a couple of weeks ago with a pilot. The idea is to have a really short, sort of 5 minutes-ish video every week with, items worthy of news. So here is one example. It's just come out yesterday. This is this week's news item. So with the wonderful Rich there, I'll sort of, pause the video with him looking very dapper in his hat, even though he's wearing it the wrong way around. Good old Rich. So yeah, that is those are our news efforts. So let us know in the comments to the news, but also in the comments to this video here, what you think, whether that's useful, whether you watch it, I'm just wondering whether it would be useful to, if we haven't done already, collect all these news shows into a playlist. Anyway, there's the news thing. Is it in a playlist? I don't know. I'm not going to look now. Anyway, so that's the news stuff. One more thing. Most importantly, our good friend on the channel, and of course in the Developer Advocates team, Max. He's been playing with SAP CAP and Node.js and JavaScript. Max, whose middle name is Java, he's starting to look at JavaScript, and it looks like he likes it. So well done, Max. Let's give Max a round of applause. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Max does. And also Helmut, who, I'm not sure, Helmut, if you're here right now, but Helmut, great call there, pointing Max in the direction of TypeScript, of course. So fantastic. Yeah, there we go. Jeffrey was the one that was doing the Chrome extensions this week with Max as well. So check those out too. So well done, Max. We're proud of you. Okay, finally. Oh no, that was it. We've seen that already, haven't we? Okay, perfect. Let's get going. So where did we leave off? Last Friday in part 6 of the Dive into Messaging. Where we left off, in fact, let's go to the terminal. I did open the dashboard, I've closed it, so let's open it again. Let's have a quick look to see what we've got. What we did last week, we created a very, very small and simple CAP application to send a message. Okay, so maybe we'll try that again. And then today we're going to write a very simple CAP application. Maybe we'll add something to the existing one. Maybe we'll create a new one. Let's see. I know we did decide to call the first one last week senderapp, but maybe we'll just add it to that. I don't know. And we got, just to remind ourselves of what we got from a Q and Q subscription perspective and webhook subscription perspective. Let's just make sure we're all sort of on the same page. Make sure I know what we're doing as well. We've got some queues. We've had this hands-on queue for ages, and we've had this Q1 and Q2 for ages, and we've got this queue called Q, which I think we created right at the end of last week's episode. Very stupid name, but anyway, Q. Now, and we created that so that we could attach a queue to the topic first topic. Okay, if you remember, we had a really good conversation. Shahid, was it you, Shahid, that was asking the questions? Really good questions that we managed to sort of hopefully understand better the relationship between queues, Q subscriptions, and webhook subscriptions. If you missed that, check out that from last week. In fact, I don't know whether you know, but if we look at live now, live now. Here we go. If we look at the, just pause that. Shahid, yes, it was you. Thank you. And those are brilliant questions. So if you see, I've put little sort of timestamp annotations so you can jump straight to it. So there, for example, you can jump straight to 13 minutes and 40 seconds in, where we talk about the questions on queues and topics and queue subscriptions and webhook subscriptions. So check that out. That was last week's. Anyway, why did we create this queue called Q? I'm really annoyed at myself for deciding I was going to call it Q, the letter Q, because it's really confusing now when I say it. But anyway, we'll leave it like that for now. Why did we create this queue name called Q? Because we created this little CAP application to send a message, right? And I think I was thinking about this on my run this morning. Philosophically speaking, what the CAP application sort of not forced us into doing, but guided us into thinking was, and let's just go to the actual thing here. If we look at the application, here's our senderapp, right? All we've got, if you remember, in the package.json, we've got a CDS requires messaging, kind enterprise messaging, which we added, okay? And because CAP speaks not HTTP, well, I mean, it does for certain things for the API, but as far as the actual messaging is concerned, it speaks AMQP, which is one of the messaging protocols that the enterprise messaging service supports. And that's the reason why we also needed to install this AMQP version 1.00 module from NPM, right? To give a CAP application powers to do that. Now, if we have a look at the services.cds, just remind ourselves, we just had a function that we could invoke. And when we invoke that function was called send, then, why am I using the mouse, by the way? Then it called this, or rather, no, it didn't call, you know, this thing was invoked. So service on send, when the send function is invoked, then we use the messaging constant, which we've created there, which was the result of connecting to that messaging service, which was required, remember, in our package.json. I won't show that now. And then we emitted an event, okay? And we know that the emit function in CAP, we can do it the long way around, which is the nice way, I think, by passing an object of three things, three properties: event, which is the name of the event. We'll come to what that means in a minute. The data that we want to send in a payload. and then any specific sort of, special headers, right? We're not interested in headers right now. That's like, more complex than we need to go. But what does this event name mean? First topic. The event name is a topic name, not a queue name. We can, as we know, right? If we come out of here, messaging, publish message to, right? Remember this messaging app that we created together? Publish message to queue or topic, right? So you can send a message, send an event directly to a queue. But what makes more sense? What is more abstract? What is more sort of, partakes of the abstract form, the platonic form of beauty, is sending something to a topic. And you don't care whether there are any queues existing or attached. You just say, I want to tell the world this, right? And that's what CAP does. That's what the emit in CAP allows you to do. Send a message to a topic in this case, right? So in order to see those messages that we were emitting with the senderapp, that's why we had to create a queue called queue and subscribe that queue to the topic called first topic. Okay, so when we send a message to first topic, right, now, if we send a message, let's run this now. Okay, so let's go into senderapp. That's our senderapp here, as we know. If we run it, so let's run it. This is the same as last time. We haven't changed anything from last time, right? I've redone the service key, of course, because for security reasons. So I'm going to delete it again after this one. So we've got our senderapp listening, and you can see it's connected. Let's just have a look at the messages. It's connected to the enterprise messaging service, as it were. So now let's just do it there, right? Now let's kick it, invoke it. Remember that if we look at the senderapp service, service.json.js, right? All we need to do is send the service.cds. All we need to do is invoke the send. Okay, so it's listening. So why don't we say curl localhost 4004? Was it HTTP dev send? Was it that? Yes. So we've invoked it. Okay, and we get OK back because we said this function. We get a string back and we just put in OK in the string. That's fine. Now, what has happened? Not much from here, but if we have a look here now and we turn, let's turn on sort of this. I wish this was automatic, but anyway, I think they're changing this. If we turn on sort of auto update here as well, we will see, oh, there we go. It's already, yeah. We will see there's one message in the queue called queue. If we do that again, right? Let's do that again. That should change to 2. And I'm saying it should change to 2 so we know that it's a result of me doing that. Come on, change it. There we go. Let's change to 2. Perfect. Now, what we really want is a really quick way, and I found this useful, a really quick way of attaching to or listening to messages on a topic and just spitting things out. So what I've got, remember we've got in our account here. Come on. Enter your trial account. Trial. I suppose I could have used the command line, but I wanted to sort of be a little bit more visual and sort of wake us up. We've still got this webhook, right? The webhook, which is listening on some URL. Okay, so we've still got that. That's from a few weeks back now. So I've got this listen script, which is the one that I committed. Let's just make that a little bit bigger, right? The one I committed, and I showed you the commit just earlier this morning. So I've got basically what the listen script does is it listens to a given topic. You specify a topic, and it creates a temporary queue, because I'm trying to get into the philosophy of these things that are ephemeral, these things are cheap, these things are throwaway. Create queues, delete queues. Yeah. They're not sort of, you know, things, solid things that have to last forever. So we're going to create a temporary queue, subscribe that queue to the topic. We're going to start the webhook endpoint. We're going to create a subscription, webhook subscription. We're going to monitor the output, and there we go. And then when we kill this, when we Control-C it, we want to clean up after ourselves. So we want to delete the webhook subscription. We want to delete the queue. So if you're interested in how this works, cloud messaging handle SAP dev. Where is it? There's the script. Okay, so I'll just put the link in there so you can have a look at that while we're hacking around. It's nothing we haven't seen before. All we're doing is using the messaging script that we've created together and the management script that we created and used together to do stuff, right? That's all it does. The only thing that's maybe interesting is this trap, which is a bash facility to say when you get an interrupt, when somebody Control-C's you, dear script, then run this cleanup function. And the cleanup function will do this before exiting. So it's quite nice. So if we now run this, listen, and the topic is first topic, isn't it? Creates a queue. It generates the queue name from the epoch time, right? So it just takes the, so we know it's going to be sort of unique each time we run it. So it starts the webhook. Okay, so now we are listening. So now if we say curl, there we go. Hands on it. Let's do it again. Is that going to work? There we go. There we go. We got it. Data number 42, and that's what we spat out with the senderapp. Okay, so we can use that listening function to sort of, you know, monitor things. Now, if I kill that and also kill this now, Control-C, bang, it traps that kill, that Control-C, and runs the cleanup. So now we're clean again. They're gone. Okay, so why don't we now dive in? Oh, yes, have one of these chocolates. Oh, they're good. Notice, of course, that the messages in the queue are still there because nobody's sort of, we have had no webhook subscription or no consumption of messages in that queue, right? We created this temporary queue, subscribe that also to the first topic, and grabbed. And the messages that we sent to that topic went to the queue, but also went to our temporary queue, but were drained off and we saw them because we'd created a webhook subscription to that queue. Get it? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, let's dive into what we really want to do, which is to look at receiving, listening out for messages. Okay, just for the sake of time and messing around, let's just do it to the same app, right? So if we now go into the senderapp itself, and let's look at the service.js. All we need to do, right? It's so simple, but it also will show us some really interesting things that are going on that CAP will do for us when we say we would like to listen out for messages on a certain event, right? I'm using the event keyword again deliberately. Let's be vague. Does this make sense, by the way? Are you all having a nice time? Let me know. You're already very quiet in the chat today, or is it that I've not scrolled? Oh no, it's okay. Oh, yeah, say hi. Say hi. How's the stream health, by the way? It says excellent here. Anyway, DJ, stop rambling. So what we need to do now, let's just have a think about this for a second, just to sort of orientate ourselves. This is a very basic sort of module, npm module, node module, not npm module, node module that we're exporting, that is used by the CAP infrastructure when we run, right? And we're exporting a function called, well, it's an anonymous function with a single argument, serve, right? And we're using that argument serve there, right, on line 5. And we're saying basically when the service receives this send, I'm going to use the word event again, right? Send event, send thing, which is a function. Could be an action. It could be a CRUD plus Q thing, right? Do this, right? Now, we want to do a similar thing, but instead of using the service, instead of referring to the service, thanks Samuel, instead of referring to the service, we need to refer to the messaging instance to which we are connected, right? So we need to say messaging.on. Okay, so in the context of messaging, when we receive an event of the following topic, okay, again, it's topic. Let's say, give me a topic name. Give me a topic name. I don't know. I'm going to call. I know that there's a delay, so I'm just going to say fruit topic. Fruit topic, because I was thinking of bananas, right? So this is saying I would like this app to listen out for and react on any messages, any events. I think you can. Do you agree? Can you say intermingle the words message and event here in this sort of context? I think we can. I want to react when there's a message, an event published to the topic called fruit topic. Okay. Fruit topic is a stupid name. Second topic. We could use first topic as well, but let's not confuse ourselves. Let's do it deliberately different, so we're not thinking, oh, are these connected? No, they're not. Second topic, and now we get, and we could use, again, we could use request, but this is where the distinction in my brain, this is sort of philosophical rather than anything else. Something that comes into the service is a request, whether that's a function or an action or one of the CRUD plus Q operations. Something that comes into the messaging, it's not really a request, it's more like a message. That's why I'm calling this argument here to this anonymous function message. Let's just log it out. Console.log. Let's use my favorite emoji, Unicode symbol. I don't know what it's called. A little very old-fashioned pointing hand. And then we'll have JSON parse. No, we'll string it. Sorry, it's an object, so we'll stringify it. Message. Let's just show the whole thing. Okay. That's all we need to do. That's all we need to do to catch and do something with. All we're doing right now is logging it out to the console. That's all we need to do to catch, to get our CAP application to listen out, connect to the messaging service, listen out, and do something when a message is published to the topic, second topic. Now, there are things in the pipeline from the CAP team that will allow us to do even more beautiful things at the CDS level to define topics and to define event structures and so on in CDS. But that's not ready for prime time yet, but it's super exciting. In the meantime, though, this is all we need to do. All right? So let's save that. Okay, so all we've done, just to see, that's all we've done. We've added those 3 lines, nothing else. Let's see what happens. Now, what's happened? Same thing as usual. It has connected to the messaging instance, enterprise messaging. But check this out. Put Q cap /0000. Right? Let's just put that into our brains, into our memory, and just think about that. Then we see this serving hands on SAP Dev, which is fine. We've seen that before. That's our, our service definition with that send function that we've defined in it. Serving, blah, 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 yeah. But then, also a super magic new thing, add subscription, topic, second topic, Q, cap 0000. Right? Now, what does that mean? Well, hopefully, God, I've almost finished my coffee already. Hold on, I'm just going to have this biscuit with a coffee. While we stare at this. That means, well, we understand, first of all the words here, which is important. Put Q. Let's have a look at the thing here. Check it out. We've got a queue called cap/0000. That means it's created a queue, sort of on the fly. In a sort of, I suppose, in a similar philosophical way to what we were talking about before in the listen script, which just sort of creates queues, you know, with a random name and then deletes them again when it's done, right? The queues are cheap. Queues are cheap, right? But of course, more importantly than being cheap, they're necessary, because in order to listen for messages on a topic, as we know, we need to have a queue and attach that queue to the topic, to subscribe that queue to the topic, to create a queue subscription. And that's what this message here is telling us. It's created this queue, and now, given that queue, it's subscribed that queue to the topic, second topic. Why don't we have a look here? Management, list queues, right? We can see the same thing here, right? But let's just have a look. There we go. There's the queues. In fact, this is getting quite large now. So let's use JQ to say, for every item in the array, just give me the name. And in fact, give us give it in raw form without any sort of quotes. There we go. There's the queues. Q2, cap 0000, hands on, Q and Q1. Not in any particular order. We could, again, the beauty of the shell. How's that, right? Antonio, you're getting ahead of it. That's the perfect question to ask. The answer is no, right? No for the time being, at least. But no, it won't. You have to clean up. We have to clean up the queues that Cap creates ourselves right now. Okay. Good question though. So there's the queues, and now if we have a look to say list, let's clear the screen. Where's my face? Let me put my face up there again. See, I've got this Stream Deck, and I don't use it often enough, right? Can you see the Stream Deck? I'm not sure. There's the Stream Deck there. So I can press this button. Put myself at the bottom, press this button, put myself at the top. There we go. Anyway, Samueli says, messages are persisted in the queue. So without queue, we lost messages when cap serve is down. We don't, basically, messages are persisted in the queue. Exactly. Okay. So if the cap service is ended, we don't necessarily want to delete the queue, right? Which is partly, partly the things that are being considered here. Yeah, exactly. Because if you stop your cap application and if the queue is automatically deleted, then any messages that you might want in between you stopping your cap application and restarting it for whatever reason are gone, because messages published to a topic are lost unless you've got a queue subscribe to it. So Samueli makes a really good point. Exactly. Right. So let's just list those queues again. There's a queue, and now let's just list queue subscription for the cap 000 queue. Now, I did this earlier. I thought, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And the reason we've got this weird message, well, can anybody figure out the reason we've got this weird message? The answer lies actually in this line here. If we have a look this is something that tripped me up. So I'm showing you so you don't get tripped up by it. Yeah, if we have a look at the management APIs, what we were doing was trying to list queue subscriptions, right? So get queue subscriptions. The API endpoint looks like that, okay? So there's the API endpoint base, and then management messaging queues queue subscriptions. However, what does our queue name look like? Our queue name looks like this, which has got a slash in it. So put literally into that queue placeholder, that variable there, it's going to mess up what the API endpoint looks like. So can anybody guess what we're going to have to do to sort that? In fact, I'm going to embrace these delays, right? I'm going to embrace these delays, you know, the sort of the time lapse. While anybody puts in the chat what we think we should do, I'll have a little chocolate. Oh yeah, that's very good. Anybody? I'd like to do an experiment one day to find out exactly how many seconds the delay is. Samuele, always on point. Exactly, and Jodel, we need to escape. Yeah, we need to escape. We need to encode. So, URL-encode. I've got a URL-encode function. Sorry, okay, I almost gave the game away there. And we need to URL encode it, as in encode it to be used in a URL. So URL encoding is a thing, as we know, right? I'm sure people have seen URL encoded stuff before. I think I talk about URL encoding in the Cloud APIs thing somewhere. Yes, Antonio, exactly. Escape the slash. And the URL encoded version of the slash is %2f. So we could, what we're going to have to do is basically say, we can say here, let's put it in quotes just in case, like cap %2f0000. There we go. I mean, ideally, URL encode cap 0000. That's the same thing, right? That's more sort of obvious. So what we'll have to do eventually, maybe not now, it's 8:37. What we'll have to do is just modify the, we're talking about, what we're talking about here? We're talking about queue subscriptions, that's right. Queue subscriptions, list queue subscriptions. Yeah, the queue. So we need to encode the queue. Okay, we need to encode the queue, but not everywhere necessarily. So let's do that another time. Okay, we'll just cope with it by now by encoding it on the command line. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that because that tripped me up. It's like, what? What's going on? Yes, of course, right? So, where were we? List the queue subscription. Yes, right, this. So we've got a queue subscription. So cap has created a queue called cap 0000, and it's subscribed the queue to the second topic. And if we again look at that, let's just do that one more time. We can say list queues, and we do for the cap one, we can see the cap 0000 queue name is subscribed to the topic, second topic. Okay, so now if we send a message, let's just see that is subscribed to the second topic, just like Q was subscribed to the first topic. Exactly. Now let's send the message then to this second topic. So we can say here, let's do it here so we can see what's going on the left hand side. Messaging, publish message to topic, second topic. Hello. Are we ready? There we go. That was it. It worked. there's our little hand from the console.log. We've got all sorts of information here. Events count, event, second topic, headers, message, hello, inbound true. That's it. That's all we need to do. Now, I've been curious, and I want to find out with you. I've been curious as to why the queue is called cap 0000. And I'm guessing that it's got to be in the code somewhere. It's got to be in the cap code somewhere, because the queue name is generated by CDS, right? Put queue. Oh, am I blocking the command? Sorry. Thank you. Jodelle, thank you. So the queue, put queue, oh, yes, so which CDS? It's there. Let's just zoom that in a minute. CD, the name, which CDS? Let's go there. Okay. That's the binary, but we want actually the includes, the libs. There we go. That's where CDSDK is. So let's open up a shell there. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. This is SAP, the globally installed SAP CDSDK, right? CDS, what's the version, by the way? CDS version 4, CDSDK version 3.0.0. Oh, that's interesting. Undefined missing. Okay, a bit random, but anyway, it reminds me of my favorite description of a command, which is not here in macOS Unix, but there's one description in the man page for false, which reads "does nothing unsuccessfully," which I might go on a t-shirt. But anyway, come on, DJ, concentrate. grep. Let's look for files with literally 0000 in. Okay, so we're only interested in the SAP ones, aren't we? So let's just do that again. Grep SAP. Oh, that's it. Okay, cool. OData Commons, CDS runtime, EDM converters, SAP Cloud SDK. No converters, no runtime, REST. Messaging. Common utils, connections or naming conventions. Ooh, okay, so CDSDK, node modules, SAP, CDS runtime, lib, messaging, connections and naming conventions. What? Where are we? Oh, messaging, common utils. Okay, so let's look at connections first. Oop. 0000. Sorry, what was that? What's going on? Oh, okay. 0000. There. It's not that. Naming conventions. That could be it, couldn't it? There we go. Now, queue name. We've got a function called queue name, which takes some stuff. And cap, I'm tempted to change this and see what happens. Cap is like a default, a fallback. If there's no app name or app ID, they sound like VCAP application type stuff. So why don't we just change this to ZAP? Why not? Okay, and let's go back to In fact, let's kill that one. Okay, there we go. So let's kill that. Let's run that again. CDS watch. Now, what have we got over here? We've still got that cap thing. So this is the sort of proof. This is still refreshing, right? So the cap 00Q still exists. It's there in the list, obviously. Obviously, if we see it here, that means it exists, right? And it's still subscribed to the second topic. If I run it again, okay, cap 000, it's not changed. Do I need to do something different? Okay, that's interesting. I thought this wasn't installed already. Okay, cool. So let's just edit this one. I need to remember to edit the one I've clobbered. There we go. Let's call it SAP. Okay, good. CS watch. SAP. Okay, so now we have something else. Okay, that's interesting. Now, what happens if we kill that and run it again? Oh, what? What happened there? CDS watch. Put Q. Now, I'm thinking, yes, this makes sense. It's created the queue SAP 000 again, where in fact it already exists, right? And I've always wondered, I've always wondered, I guess, if we have a look at the management APIs, the API endpoint to create a queue is also the API endpoint to update a queue. So basically creating a queue or updating a queue is idempotent. You know, you could just create it, update it, bang, 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 bang. It's not going to create a second queue with the same name, obviously, right? So it's a really nice, safe way of saying, create this queue. If it exists already, fine. Just pretend it's an update, right? So that's pretty cool, right? Does that make sense to you as well? It makes sense to me. Put queue. I don't care whether it exists already. I'm going to create this queue. Now, that's fine. I'll go and change the global install after the live stream. Don't worry. That's fine, but why don't we? Because having everything called cap and 0000, you know, if we run everything like that, all the apps would be creating queues of the same name, which is not going to work. But if you remember, where was it? If you remember, let's change that back as well. No, it wasn't SAP, it was cap, wasn't it? Options app name, options app ID. I've got a feeling if we deploy this and then bind the messaging server, let's deploy it. Yes, deploy it. CF push. What have we got? ZCF or CFT apps. What apps have we got? We got the webhook. We got this S4 mock router, which has nothing to do with this live stream series. I'm doing something else with that. CF push senderapp. Let's see what happens. That's cool. No random route required. My intent, what's in my head right now is if we push this and then bind the enterprise messaging service instance to this app and then have a look at the app's end, look at VCAP services and VCAP application, see what's in there, and then we'll run it in the cloud and see if it creates a separate queue, a different queue name. Yeah, because we saw that those cap and 0000 things were just fallbacks. So far, so good. Ooh, last bit of chocolate. Tough cookie. Tough cookie. Failed, but I think we probably know why it's failed, right? CF logs sender app recent. It's probably failed because it, there we go, yeah. No messaging credentials found. Hint, you need to bind your app, you fool. Of course, okay, so there's our app, okay, and there's our service, mdev, so CF, bind service, is that how you do it? Yes, CF bind service, app name, sender app, service name, emdev. That was easy. And then CF restage sender app. Let's see if this works. 8:51. Quite exciting. I think we might finish in time. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. It started. Okay, cool. Now. Oh, it started. Which means it will have gone through the requirements of the topic subscriptions and already created something. Shall we have a look? Before we look at the logs. CF, no. The management, where are we? Oh, sorry, there. Management list queues. There's our SAP queue. There it is. Look, senderapp F867. That wasn't there before, was it? Queues. Oh, that's these to update, freshly update. There it is. Senderapp. There's our SAP. There's our cap. There's our senderapp F867. Now, if we have a look at the environment for senderapp, let's have a look here. Let's just see what we've got here. What we get, of course, is the system provided environmental variables, vcap services, which we've seen before, right? But we also get this vcap application stuff. And check it out. Check it out. What if we scale the app up? Do we get multiple queues? Oh, we should try that, shouldn't we? Maybe we should try that next time. I suppose, first of all, the answer technically must lie in the application ID, right, from a cloud perspective. Because if we look at the queues, if we look at the queues, we can see that F867, if you remember the code that we looked at in that bit of cap JavaScript, is that. And the sender app, that bit, is the application name. So there's the application name and there's the application ID. So that is what's happening here. That's a good question, Antonio. We should try that as well. But just thinking about Samuela's question for a second, I'm thinking if we scale the application up, that let's go step by step. Whatever the application ID and name is in that particular app that's deployed, that's going to be used as the name of the queue that is created. So indirectly, the answer to the question that Samuela's posing, which is a really good question, is, well, if the application ID and the application name are the same for all the scaled instances of the app, then we don't get multiple queues, because of course the queue is based upon, the queue name is based upon the application ID and the application name, which makes, I mean, sticking my neck out, that sort of makes sense, because you wouldn't want multiple, if you had a message that was posted to a topic and your CAP application needed to receive that message and do something with it, you wouldn't want to do that twice or 3 times or 4 times, depending on how many things you'd scale up, right? So I think, I would guess, and you let me know if you agree, or if I'm being stupid, I would guess that logically, the answer to the question is, no, we do not get multiple queues. We don't want multiple queues. Maybe that's something we should try next time. And to Antonio's question, which is a great question, would it be possible to specify the VCAP application and values for app ID and app name locally? I think that's a really cool thing to try. But it's 8:57. I do try and keep this to 1 hour. So let's leave it there. And pick this up next time, next Friday. I think I'd like to round off this series, unless there's anything else we want to cover, but I think I'd like to round off this series with part 8 next Friday. Do a bit of random stuff, answer these questions together, Samuela's question, Antonio's question. You'll have to remind me. And then bits and pieces, and I think we're done. I think I've covered what I wanted to cover in this sort of, well, is there such a thing as an introductory deep dive? An initial deep dive. I think we've covered all of the API endpoints, haven't we? Okay, anyway. So with that, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking part in the chat. That makes it so much better for me and for everybody. So thank you. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Let me know if you want any of these hands-on SAP dev stickers or the SAP Cloud Application Programming Model stickers, the cloud sticker shape. And I'll see you same time, same place next week.